Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's album review. We haven't had any requests, so we're going to do our own random album pick, get the requests coming in, and that will mean we won't have to do this. So I'm going to share the screen, and I'm going to press Generate Music Albums, and we're going to get a choice of 3. Right, so we have got a choice of 3. We've got The Body by Prince of Denmark, Deep Inside, Hard Drive, and Art of Vengeance EP, Aril Brikha. So I haven't heard of any of them. I bet Brett's twitching away saying, "Oh, I know them all. I know them all." I don't know, maybe not. But so I really don't know, like, what this is. It's some sort of groovy music or something. I don't know. Like, I'm going to be a little bit sneaky here. I'm going to go for Art of Vengeance EP by Aril Brikha, just because I think it's going to be the shortest, because it's an EP. I don't want to take any chances with the other two, in case they're really long and we don't like them. So it's Art of Vengeance EP by Aril Brikha. So Brett, do you want to tell me about the 3 albums?
Yeah, here? I'll tell you all about them. How long we got? Half an hour? We'll go through. No, so I can't tell you anything apart from nice, interesting album covers in their own unique way. As soon as I saw the albums and I saw that last one was an EP, I put in my head, I bet Lee's going to probably pick the EP one, just because the chance it might be a shorter one. So I should put that prediction in, but no, otherwise I can't tell you much there. So I suppose we're going to have to go away and find something out about it.
Yeah, so just going to do a little bit of research. We'll be back with you guys in a second. Just quickly share my screen. So it looks like there's only 3 songs on this EP. It's from 1998, electronic techno. I don't know how long the songs are.
I was going to say, it doesn't say how long they are, so it might only be 3 songs, but it could be half an hour each.
Yeah, that's true. Especially with that type of music. Yeah, hopefully they won't be half an hour long each. Even if they're 10 minutes long each, still only half an hour. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really into this type of music, I don't think, generally. So it's usually difficult to review as well because it's quite repetitive. But yeah, there's only 3 tracks on there. So we'll give it a go. And yeah, see what it's like. You looking forward to it?
Yeah, I'm really intrigued to actually see how long the tracks are. So that's what I'm looking forward to finding out. But listen, sometimes it's the stranger that ends up being quite surprising, really. But yeah, as you said, with this genre of music, it's difficult to review and difficult to delve into them, really. But who knows? We'll see. You only have to wait a couple of seconds to find out.
You do indeed. So we're going to be back with you in a few seconds. So we've now listened to the EP, Art of Vengeance. Yeah, Brett, do you want to tell us what you thought of the 3 tracks on there, the album in general?
Yeah. Well, here are my notes.
Here are my notes. Right. Okay.
Well, this could be the quickest review probably do on a. I don't know what to say. I mean, not only were the 3 tracks very similar, there was nothing to them. I felt like it was the same thing over that. There was like hardly any sort of difference to them at all. But yeah, in all seriousness, yeah. Listen, I don't, I don't mind a bit of dance music. And I do find it quite soothing in some regards. I do get it. I think this one, the plus side, it wasn't like a really full, intense, hardcore dance thing. It was just a nice beat, repeated over and over again, with like a very little change. Now, again, hardcore dance or electric fans would probably go straight away. Oh, yeah, no, definitely after those 4 beats, there's that slight change, which you can slightly hear, but very, very minimal, really. And that's all I've really got to say. And I said it's really frustrating. I said, the fact they were all quite similar, and not only that, there was nothing to there was nothing distinctive to make one different to the other. Apart from when we maybe talk about the last one, there's a little bit of something that really spoilers away. But otherwise, I was listening to it whilst I was actually doing a bit of housework. And I said, it's a good background music, if you bath, I'm doing housework, I can sort of listen and take on board. But in terms of this to review it and to talk about it, I sent my notes up. There was nothing to actually write. I think I'll just leave it at, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, so I think, I'm in a similar boat, except maybe I'm going to word it differently. But I think that the end result's pretty much the same. So basically, I've got some words to add, basically, that maybe you didn't have. But so first of all, as I understand, this EP was from 1998. It's 90s techno music, and it's specifically Detroit techno. I don't know if that means this techno group are from the city of Detroit, or whether Detroit has a techno style in itself. That I'm not sure about. But what I've put here, this isn't related to the album exactly, but when it comes to like dance music, I prefer something like Eric Prydz, "Call on Me." Like a kind of, I use it a lot, a kind of catchy tune, like with some words in it, but it can still be dancey. So that's, my sort of dance music. If I was going to pick a sort of dance music that I like, something maybe a little bit more commercial. But yeah, like you, not really too much to say on it. I didn't mind listening to it at all, actually. It was fine to listen to, but it was just mainly a beat with a few added sounds, and that could be said for all 3 of the songs. Or they're not songs, for all 3 of the tracks. And just a question as well that maybe some techno music fans may be able to answer. The question is, I wonder how, well, it's not really a question, it's more of a statement. I wonder how techno music has changed with the times. So, like, let's say if you take, average pop music, we can easily understand when something's from this, usually understand when something's from the 70s, 1970s, 1980s, 1990s, even the noughties. It just has that feel to it. Whereas with techno, like even though this is from 1998, would I have known it was from the 1990s? No, not really. So I just wonder, like, has the style of techno music changed? Like, what's techno music now compared to Detroit techno in '98? I don't know if Brett knows the answer to that.
No, it's a really, really good point. I nearly thought about it. And it's something that sort of doesn't seem to age. And again, I think maybe Hogwarts maybe be able to really probably tell the difference between them. But it's a really good, valid point. And if anyone is watching this and enjoying it and want to let us know, we honestly it'd be quite intriguing to definitely to learn more. And then if there really is, or what makes it so appealing is because it doesn't age. It's quite timeless, and that's what its appeal could be, really.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my kind of notes, really. And so I guess we'll get started with the first track. So the first one was groove la chord. So I quite like the start. Very dancey. Now, I know that might seem silly to say that like techno music is very dancey, but we've listened to quite a lot of, done quite a few album reviews on what we thought was going to be like kind of dance music, but it wasn't. It was quite slow, kind of more chilled. But this was very dancey. You could be in a club dancing to this, for sure. So early days, because I think this was an 8-minute long track. This is the longest track on the EP. So after the first few minutes, I just was questioning, like, is this going to develop? Because it was very samey, I guess we could say. It was just basically a continuous beat with some, I don't know the word to use here, but like with some chords. That's the name of the song or the track. Groove le chords. That's the word I've used. Like some chords on top of the beat kind of thing, or some sound on top of the beat, but it was very repetitive. So as a non-techno guy, it's difficult for me to appreciate this. I don't dislike it, but it just seems very samey and repetitive. There's another sound that joins in from time to time during the 8 minutes, almost kind of like a chimes noise, almost like a kind of bell. You know, those things you have on the door when it's windy on the front door, and like the wind blows it starts chiming, kind of that kind of sound.
I think they're wind chimes, the windy
chimes, yeah.
Making chimes, yeah.
And then towards the end, it started to get a little bit kind of spacey, kind of like sci-fi-ish, perhaps. But then it was just back to the original bass, the bass as in that just beat the general sound of the track. So yeah, it was all right to listen to, but it just was very repetitive. But I was looking at the comments section on YouTube when I was listening to this, and people were, commenting saying, "Oh, it's amazing how it starts off like quite in that way, whatever, slowly, and then it all comes together." And I don't know, but to me, it's just basically a continuous beat with a few added sounds here and there. I don't know, it's just that's all I can say on it, really.
Honestly, I really can't add more to that. You've pretty much summed it up very, very well. Exactly, that is pretty much what the whole track is like. But like you, and I did say, sorry, like, even though we're laughing and joking, criticising away, it was all right to listen to. I did enjoy listening to it, but as you said there, it was just too long of the same thing all the way through. And it was interesting. I didn't look at the comments in there, but I do kind of get where it was that little bit different at the start, where it was a bit slow and sort of built up, but then it was at its peak or its built up bit for just way too long. It felt like maybe wanted, even if it would have been less enjoyable for us, maybe just maybe take it to that next level of, adding a bit more. It just needed a bit more substance to it, or something else to it, just to break it up a little bit. Because I remember also we've talked about in the past with this type of music where generally, why do they have to be so long? They could just be 3 to 4 minutes long, and then if someone really likes it, just listen to it on repeat. Where's there's no real difference? But that's our own sort of naive, just sort of joking about with it. But you said, yeah, it was actually all right to listen to for how long it was, but it was just too samey. Too samey for too long.
Yeah, I think we both agree on that one. So the next track was called Way Back. This initially had a slow start, but only for a few seconds, and then the beat began. First thoughts on this one initially felt a little bit kind of samba-like, kind of like Brazilian or kind of Latin America kind of style. It had that same kind of chimes type noise from the first track. Again, it felt very repetitive, but with a different continuous beat. So the same kind of thing, just a different beat this time. With a few sounds added in. It's pretty much like basically like the first track. Just it's a different beat. So with the sounds added in again, I don't know. So, but even though I'm not coming across particularly positive about what I'm saying here, I'm still quite happy to listen to it. And then a different sound has now been introduced. I've put there maybe towards the end of the song or the track. There was another unfamiliar sound that was added. But other than that, I don't know what to say really.
Yeah, again, I can't add or change anything to be said. It summed it up absolutely perfectly there, really. Like the first track, just sounded slightly different. It was promising that start, so okay, so this could be something completely different, and then was how the first one was. And as you said there, yeah, again, like I said before, even though it's a really long song, it was actually all right to listen to, but just didn't have an. It's weird because normally we say sometimes there's too much going on stuff. But I think for this, it kind of needed something else just to change it up a little bit. But as I say, all right to listen to. Just again, too long, too samey for too long.
Yeah, but this was a shorter track as well, wasn't it? It's like six and a half minutes, was it? Something like that. Yeah. The next one, the last one, was Groove Le Chord, but the shuffle mix version. So I put down here that it felt quite different to the non-shuffle mix version, so to the original actually. In a way, I guess you could say it feels shuffled. It had a kind of shuffled feel to it, like they were kind of mixing it a little bit. I don't know, maybe. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, we have some words. This is obviously what I presume you were maybe referring to in the introduction. So yeah, a guy said like a few words at the beginning or towards kind of early on. Can't remember what the words were. And I kind of, as this kind of went on, I was like, I think this is the most interesting of the three, even though it's still samey, but maybe slightly less. Might be a little bit more variety, a bit more going on in this one, possibly. And then towards the end, the voice came back again. This time he was speaking for a lot longer, and I was trying to hear him, but I just realised that I couldn't hear him like over the music. The music was a lot louder than his voice was. I think I could hear him earlier on, like the first time, but yeah, kind of got drowned out by the music. So yeah, something else happened in this track, I guess. So which made it a little bit more interesting. Over to you.
Yeah, so I was hoping that maybe because it was a mixed one, that maybe it might have been a lot different, maybe like a slower version or a bit more daunting, just to whether I'd like it better, I don't know, but just at least mix it up. And obviously it turned out it was slightly different, but not enough to change too much from the other tracks. And yes, the talking is what I was alluding to. So yeah, you had it, but that's it. Yeah, he talks once and like, okay, and then you think it's okay, maybe it's going to happen a bit more, but and then it just never came back again until right at the end. And I think he was talking about he was saying something about the river, but yeah, the music was a lot more prominent than the words. But then even those little bit of words made that song, added so much more to that song. I say so much, I think it's only the words, but enough. And that's what I think the other songs kind of needed, or at least this one have the words more often there, really. So it would have been my pick of the album, of the EP, that one. That would have been we've had to pick one, that one, but otherwise, yeah, so much to say. But that's it, again, all right to listen to for longish type of songs. And I said the words just proved that all those songs just needed that little bit something else to them for me to maybe just enjoy that a little bit more.
Yeah, so I'm glad I chose the EP. Out of the three options, I'm glad I went for the EP because maybe the other two albums would have been something similar, but just a lot longer. But yeah, like I said, I didn't actually mind listening to it. But again, maybe because there was only 3 tracks on it, it was just over 20 minutes. It's probably about 22 minutes roughly in total, something like that. It kind of made it listenable, pleasant enough. But if that had been going on for like an hour, just repetitive stuff on the music, then I might have started to get a bit tired of it. So yeah, that was enough for me. Just kind of sampled it, and yeah, kind of actually, yeah, say enjoy it. I might be pushing it, but certainly didn't mind listening to it. Just difficult to really kind of say much about it. Probably like you, probably lacking a little bit of substance, maybe something to take it to the next level. But yeah, I don't really have much more to say on it than that. What about you?
No, I've got nothing much more to say on that at all.
Right. Okay. Well, don't go hating us in the comment section if you're a huge fan of Detroit. What's it called? Detroit
Trance.
Detroit Trance. Is that what it's called? I thought it was called. What's it called? Hang on a minute.
Oh, Techno.
Sorry. Detroit Techno. Yeah, if you're a big fan of Detroit Techno, don't go hating on us. Educate us. Let us know in the comment section what exactly this sort of stuff is, and how popular was it back in the day. Is stuff still like this produced today? Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it from us. If you've got any requests, album requests, let us know. Leave your request in the comment section, and we'll do our best to get round to it. Well, the idea is we choose one person at random, but let's see if we get any requests or not. So that's it from us, and we'll see you again for the next one. Goodbye.